Hello, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Sam Bowling, and I'm running for Norwood City Council in Ward 1. I appreciate you giving me a few moments of your time today, because what we decide together in this community doesn't just shape the months ahead. It shapes the Norwood the next generation will inherit, the resources available to our families, and the way that we show up for one another as neighbors. I've had the honor of serving this community for one term on City Council, and during that time, I've worked to support our small businesses, increase transparency in our local government, and make sure that everyone, no matter who they are, feels like they have a place in Norwood. I've chaired the Small Business Committee, helped organize citywide events that brought joy to our streets and dollars to our local economy, and I've worked closely with community organizations to ensure that our values, fairness, belonging, accountability, are reflected in our decisions. But who I am at my core is not just a public official. I'm your neighbor. I'm someone who cares deeply about the well-being of our neighborhoods, the strength of our local economy, and the quality of life we build together. I grew up in a family where community meant everything, where lending a hand wasn't just something you planned, it was just what you did. And Norwood has reminded me over and over again how powerful that spirit of togetherness can be. Today, I want to talk briefly about why this election matters and why local elections matter in general. We hear so much about national politics. We hear about Washington, Congress, presidential candidates, national news cycles that change every single day. But here's the truth. Most of the things that affect your daily life don't happen in Washington. They happen right here. The streets we drive on, the sidewalks where we walk together, the parks where we gather, the police and fire services we depend on in emergencies, the development that shapes our neighborhoods, the investments or lack of investments in our business corridors and housing. Those decisions are local, and they are made by people we elect, sometimes by just a handful of votes. Local elections are often decided by dozens of ballots, not thousands, not tens of thousands, dozens, sometimes even fewer, which means your vote is powerful. It is direct, it is immediate, it is personal, and it is one of the most meaningful tools we have to build the kind of community we want to live in. Now, what kind of community do I believe in? I believe in a Norwood where our small businesses don't just survive, they thrive, where the city supports entrepreneurship and works with business owners, not against them. I believe in a Norwood where development is thoughtful and not rushed, where we maintain the character that makes our city special while also planning for growth that benefits residents, not just outside investors. I believe in a Norwood that is safe, welcoming, and connected, where we build systems that make life easier, not more complicated, where the city communicates clearly with residents about how, why, and when decisions are being made. I believe in a Norwood where we don't wait for a problem to become a crisis. We look for solutions. And I believe in a Norwood where every resident feels seen, heard, and valued, where your background, your identity, your job, your income, none of that determines whether you deserve respect. I am running because I love this community, and I know what we can become when local government works with transparency, accountability, and heart. But I cannot do this alone. None of us can. Local government is not about one person making decisions. It's about all of us deciding what we value. So here is my call to action. I'm asking you to vote. Not someday, not if you have time for it. Vote early. Vote now. Early voting is open, and it has never been easier. You can vote in person at the Board of Elections right here in Norwood ahead of Election Day. There are no long lines, no scrambling to make it to the polls before they close, no stress about your schedule changing unexpectedly. Voting early means your voice is counted, your impact is secured, your participation in this community is locked in, and your vote matters. It matters more here than almost anywhere else. If, like me, you want a Norwood that invests in small businesses, supports community spaces, respects residents' voices in development, and works every day for a more connected, transparent, and vibrant city, then your vote is how we make that happen. Democracy is not a spectator sport. Norwood is not a place where we sit back and wait to see what happens. We are a community of doers, of makers, of neighbors who show up for one another. So I'm asking you, show up now. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, check on your parents, your coworkers, your group chats. Do they have a voting plan? Make a plan to vote early and encourage the people around you to do the same. Our future is not decided by who shouts the loudest. It is decided by who shows up. And when Norwood shows up, when we lean into our shared values of community, fairness, and care, there is nothing we cannot build together. Thank you for listening, thank you for caring, and thank you in advance for voting. My name is Sam Bowling, and I humbly ask for your vote. Let's continue building a Norwood we're proud to call home.